So thanks for purchasing our Proking 9 or Proking 9 XL. Here's a video to help you with the build. Here are the tools you're going to need. Impact gun is recommended. And this is how your Proking 9 will come. Basically just start unpackaging the unit. Cut all the straps. This is your casters. You'll need those later, so make sure you put those aside. This is the jack tray. Again, you won't need this till later. Your box of hardware and your custom aluminum ramps. These are your wheel stoppers. You'll need these at the end as well. This is the hardware box with your manual inside. And these are your posts. So remove those from the unit. Take the plastic off. You want to make sure your locks are set up to the outside of the lift. These are heavy, so make sure you have somebody to give you a hand. And do the same with your second post. Again, make sure these locks are the same side and to the outside of your lift. This is for your motor. This is how it attached to the lift. These are your lock rods. We'll now take off the 22 mil bolts and take out some more posts. These are your cross beams. So unpackage these. These will be our next step in the build process. You're going to take off the pulley covers so you can access the locks to hold them open. So make sure your locks are on the same side as the lock holes. Place them on a piece of wood. It'll make it easier to slide them on later. Put your sliders in. Open the locks and use a screwdriver to jam them open. Open the secondary lock with a pair of pliers and slide your post through. You're going to go to the bottom lock. Same with the other side. Hold your sliders so they don't fall out. And again, go to that bottom lock and then stand the unit up. We're going to do the same again with the other side. Again, make sure that you do have your locks in the same direction as the lock holes. Hold your secondary locks open and slide in. Stand your posts up. Put the second set of sliders in. Measure your runway. Make sure your posts are the same distance apart. Take a 22 mil socket, loosen the bottom. Then you can pry your runway out. We're going to put our base runway on first. This is the slave runway. This is the lighter of the two, but it is still heavy. It's very helpful to have a dolly, especially if you're going a long distance to where your lift's going to be, because these are quite heavy. So we usually lift one side on, pull it back, and it pops on for you. Then go back, unbolt the rest of the unit. Put your dolly underneath. Now this unit has a cylinder in it. It is much heavier. Again, please make sure you're being careful. Slide it under, lift the run one side on. At this point, you're going to get your hardware. And you're going to get the bolts for the runways. You're also going to go get your ramp clips. And this is where you bolt your runways together. The ramp clips you're going to have on there will be the space in the center between the runway and the outside of the clip. That's for your ramps to attach to. We usually do everything finger tight. This is your lock mechanism. So we're going to prep those. These are the longer lock rods. We're going to prep those. Put the eyelids on the center cross beam and start to attach our locks. These are for your secondary locks, and we're prepping these. These have the P, is what we call it, facing towards the inside of the lift. We'll then put all our covers on for the sliders. This is the hose post, and that is for holding your hose. That's the only place you'll have that one clip. You notice the 4 holes in the top of the cap, that is your motor post. So now we're attaching the bracket for the motor to that post, and we're going to drop it back in. Now go through, tighten up all the bolts. You need various tools here that we mentioned in the beginning. We're now cutting the straps off the cables so we can run the cables. They're pretty much preset for you. You can only go one direction with them. You're going to remove the nuts nuts off the end of the cables. Push them through the crossbeam and up and around the pulleys. On the first one, be a little bit of pressure because you're going to extend the cylinder. You'll see the cylinder opening up there. Then go to each corner and do the same thing. Go to the runways, make sure they're pulled apart as far as you can. And then tighten up your runways. Now take the motor out of the box. We're going to attach the motor to the post. And you're going to fill your motor once it's all set up with AW32 hydraulic fluid. Tighten up your hardware on the post. We're now going to put our hydraulic fitting into the side of the runway and put our hydraulic fitting into the motor. Make sure these are finger tight with a half a turn. You can always go back and turn tighten them if you need to. Attach your hose. You can now put your pulley covers back on. Then we can insert the lock rod, which is the main lock rod that goes through the runway. We're going to take the coupling and we're going to attach the lock rods together. Then we'll attach the horizontal lock rods to control the locks. Once this is all done, go back underneath, and you're going to need 2 wrenches to snug this coupling up against each other. So make sure you snug that up properly. Do the same to both sides. Now you're getting close to having the lift complete. So you're going to check your locks. Make sure you have approximately a 2 fingers distance away from the post. You can adjust the locks by adjusting the lock rods. Then you're going to power the unit up and lower it down to the ground. Raise it up and make sure everything is working as it should. And we'll show you how to put the casters on. So you take your caster, you put your pin through the post. Make sure to put your cotter pin on the other side. And you can lower the unit down and it will seesaw the post into the air. You can now move your lift around. You can then pull your pins and store your wheels in a safe place. Then you can put your jack tray on. These are your wheel blockers. Now your lift is complete. Please watch the next video for how to adjust your lift.